privilege to have Jon AHLBUM as my guest today. Jon and I have been friends for a long time. I am certainly one of his clients. I have United American Insurance, which has been a gold mine. I'll say a gold mine for me. I never worry when I go to a doctor about it. In fact, when I say United American, their eyes light up, they're so happy. And so Jon and I have talked a lot about that. Jon founded your company. When did you first start it? I forget now. It's been a long time.
In 1966.
Oh, you're just a baby.
Oh, I'm sorry, 86.
Oh, 86, okay. Well, you're just a young man. So this was but you've told the story before on radio, but let's tell the story again. How this all came about. I mean, here you were waiting tables as a young guy, and all of a sudden you decided you're going to get into the insurance business. I'm kidding. You didn't do that, but.
Actually, I was selling boats.
Oh, okay. Well, it was something. That's right. Like all of young people do something.
And that was fun. I could spend half the day in the water and stuff and make some money. But then my first wife passed away of cancer, and I had 4 children at home. So I had to do something that would allow me to, or find something that would allow me, that if I woke up in the morning and one of them had a fever and couldn't go to school or daycare, and I looked, and insurance seemed to do it because I could get on the phone and change my day around in a heartbeat. And it worked out, and thank goodness it really did, because not only am I involved in it, but my son is, my wife Donna is now, and also my daughter-in-law. So.
Yeah, and it's done really well for you because you have a kind heart. And when people think about a man has to rear his 4 children and support them, people just don't think. Now they see you as a successful insurance entrepreneur and all. They have no idea what it must have been like for you. But you bring that to your clients. That's what makes you special, Jon.
Thank you. I try to anyway. And people ask me, are you going to retire? And I say, I don't want to, because I don't feel like I'm working. I'm helping people. I'm not working. I feel good at the end of the day.
Do not retire. No, we don't want you to retire. Remember, my book, Live to be 100 Plus. No, I'm not retiring. You can't, because I will say, if you want to retire, what are you going to retire to, though? You have to, if you don't want to do what you're doing anymore, you have to do something. But no, you shouldn't do that. No, you shouldn't do that. You're great. Okay, so right now you have another home. You're here in South Florida most of the year, and then the summer you go to the Cape, right?
Yeah, we're on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah. Oh, Martha's Vineyard. Okay. And you are able to still work from there.
Yes. Yeah, especially like we're working here now. But I mean, it's the electronic Zoom or Boom or whatever you want to call it has actually made it so with our business we can work basically anywhere. And with people wanting to stay home and do things virtually, it makes it even more accommodating.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll offer you too. If you have a client, you have some clients that you really like and they're really good and you think it's worth it, we can put them on with you or without you. See, we just help you with everything you want. And tell you what we did with Faith Farm. You know that they've been advertising with us a long time, and the pastor of the Okeechobee branch, we had him on, and he said, would you like a tour? Okay. He toured. The whole Zoom was a tour of all the facility out there in Okeechobee. So if you find something you want to tour with us, we'll do that with you.
Okay.
Well, let's get serious, though. I'd like to get serious about the insurance, because people now are very worrisome. They're worried about what's going to happen with their insurance. The Medicare people don't know what they're doing. And rather than spend money on cruises, which they're not doing now, they need to spend money on getting the very best supplement insurance they can. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a United American. What do you think?
I totally agree. And the COVID-19 has been addressed by Medicare, and Medicare is covering people, might be unfortunate enough to be diagnosed with it. And they are covering the testing and stuff too, so. And hopefully it's, because it is going away a little bit, it'll continue to go away. But in the meantime, we do have medical coverage for everybody that needs it.
So I have another question. This came up. My doctor wants me to take a test that he said Medicare, it's about $125. Medicare doesn't pay for it. It's check my cholesterol. But would United American pay anything, or you only pay what you only supplement what Medicare pays?
We can only pay after Medicare pays, unfortunately.
I see. Okay. So it's really called supplemental. It's if you don't have it, Medicare pays and you pay out of your pocket. If Medicare pays and you have United American, you cover the rest, right?
Exactly. And Medicare pays, depending on the situation, either 80% or a fixed fee or something, and then United American pays the balance. Or the supplement.
Now, how do you get involved in this? Just because someone has the insurance, do they call you first, or do you ever hear from them again? How does that work?
For the clients?
Yeah.
We generally, I believe in customer service, so that we stay in touch with our clients, on a regular basis. And then they in turn will tell their friends that, or suggest that they call us if they need something.
Right. But for instance, once someone goes to the doctor, they don't need to call you for anything, do they? They show your the card, and that's it.
Yeah, they take they've got their Medicare card and their United American card, and like you say, generally when they go in, the doctor smiles just like they do with you.
That's right. And the reason is because I've spoken to a lot of doctors. A lot of doctors have certain plans that they really don't get. If they do get paid, they don't get paid a lot, and
Right.
Some of them don't even get paid. They can't take
Ones
that.
that are on the ones on the managed care plans get paid very little for each visit, and sometimes, as you say, sometimes they don't even get paid on the visits and stuff. They love United American, and United American pays very quickly, so they're very happy with it. Years ago, one of the best referrals I got was from doctors. And that was because United American was one of the most steady companies out there. They've been around since Medicare started. And a lot of the older doctors especially knew United American from the day Medicare started. And they said, wow, they pay us right away. I'm going to tell my clients to go with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important. Well, I know that I've asked you this before, but now since we're on Zoomer times, let's go over it again. Tell us who United American really is.
What?
Tell us who United American is. Well, who are they really?
Well, they are it used to be a part of Torchmark, but then Torchmark changed their name to Globe because Torchmark had owned Globe forever, and Globe was more well known than Torchmark. So they're part of Globe Life, or a part of the Globe Life family. There's United American, there's American Income, which is life insurance and investments. There's Liberty National, which is a under 65 type of insurance and some specialty plans, and Globe Life, which is a mail order life company, and they do some other mail order. And now New York, our name in New York for United American used to be First United American, and now it's Globe Life of New York. But they're an A+ company with AM Best, A+ Superior, and they have been for 30 odd years. Their top rating, and they're well funded, and it's a tremendous company.
So also, I asked you this too, and people who don't know about HMOs and all those, before they even were around, what brought them up? How did that all start?
I don't know where the HMOs actually started from. I've lost something here. I'm sorry. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, we see you well.
Okay. Um, the HMOs started back in the 1990s, and they were called Medicare HMOs. And then they went from that to really nothing for a while. And then in the late 1990s, early 2000s, they started phasing them out. In fact, the Cleveland Clinic did away with all of their HMO connections for a couple of years. And then they came back with the title of Medicare Advantage. And as a Medicare Advantage, instead of just being HMOs, and they had PPOs and they had other networks and other offers, and they promise the world. I don't know if they deliver, but they promise the world. And if you listen to Joe Namath or one of them on the TV ads, it sounds like
Right.
it sounds like every day is Christmas, but I don't think
Right.
it is.
Right.
But the drawback with them is that they are limited as far as doctors go, as far as services go. If somebody is unfortunate enough to be diagnosed with cancer and wants to go to one of the major cancer hospitals in the country, if they're on a HMO or a PPO, they can't go, like to MD Anderson in Houston or Sloan Kettering or any of those. There's other specialists that won't accept them. So even some of the University of Miami branches only have contracts maybe with one or two of the PPOs or HMOs, and everybody else is out of luck. So the supplement is definitely the way to go, because that way you can see any doctor, any hospital, anywhere in the country at any time.
But you don't pay for transportation. People have to just get there.
Right.
You just pay
Mhm.
right for the medical part.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
I have a policy, I think, that I've had, that in case something happens wherever I want to go, they pay for it.
yeah. There are policies like that. We'll pay for pay for a family member's room and board or something while you're in a hospital out of town.
Right, right. Yeah, it's complicated. And so that's probably when you do get to talk to your clients, when they have certain questions about things like
Mhm.
this.
And sometimes, we do a holiday card mailing every December to everybody. And I'll start getting calls in January, February, March thanking me for the card, just saying we don't get cards from anybody anymore. And thank you so much. It means so much to get something from somebody.
Right, so now they're going to get a Zoom TV show from you.
There you go.
Right, well, it's good. See, a lot of them, I'll bet some people took it and they don't even know you. They probably didn't have to see you. They just did it by the mail, right?
Yeah. Occasionally, especially now with the electronic age being more prominent, there are people who would say, can't we just do this over the phone and the computer because I'm busy and I don't want to have to, the quicker I can get it done, the quicker I can get back to work and get back to what I'm doing. But in most cases,
Right.
probably 80% of the people would prefer at some point to meet you and see who you are face to face, whether it's at the time of the sale or after the sale or somewhere along the line.
Right.
And I think that
Yeah.
makes it a more lasting relationship with the policyholder too.
Well, this is off the subject in a way. Have you had any of people who you insure who've gotten the virus?
I'm not aware of any.
And would you know?
I would think so. I mean, if somebody was diagnosed with a virus, they would generally, or anything, they generally call to ask what kind of coverage or what the coverage will be and stuff like that. And I, knock on wood, have not had one call about the virus.
That's wonderful, actually, when you think about it. But of course, and it does get, I was told that it's being covered by Medicare.
Yes.
But is it being covered totally?
As far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something we're all living in it's like we're living in a bubble or something, aren't we? It's
Yes,
just not
yeah,
anything we've experienced now, because I never even experienced World War II. And then when the Vietnam War and all these things happened, I guess I was busy rearing a family and all, but this is unbelievable right now.
it really is. And there's, just so much that sprung from it.
Yes.
The people staying home and going crazy, being, you know, at home and not being out and around. And I think some of these demonstrations and stuff that are going on right now are just because there's an excuse for somebody to get out of the house in some respects, or an opportunity to get out of the house.
Well, of course, they're young people, and it seems like, and when I see them, they're not being protected, which is, well, some of them are, but
Right.
everything else that we thought are just gone out the window, and it's very dangerous. I don't know
It
what's
really
going to happen.
is.
I have no idea what's going to happen. It's a very difficult time for all of us, and no matter what you believe in, but I guess it really all stemmed from that poor black man being killed that way. That's really what happened, in a sense.
That's what set it all off. But
Yes, it did.
I think there was some other, political things behind it. Plus, I don't know what else.
Yeah. Well, it's because, in fact, the Volin Center is one of our very biggest, they're advertisers, and we love them, and we do a lot
Mhm.
with them. And they just now have opened up for the daycare center for some of the people, I think maybe 50%. And they said now, because they're I don't know if you're familiar with them, they do such wonderful work. The people who've been at home alone, they've come back, but they're not the same. They're showing the wear and tear of being alone, and it's not very pretty. So they've got to work on now and they bring huge amounts, thousands and thousands of meals to them at home.
Right.
But the people that they're getting in now are really fatigued.
And being basically confined at home, or, being told to stay home and not go out or anything, it has to work on people. I mean, I was fortunate enough that our office is close to home. We were determined that because we were doing insurance and stuff, that we could be in the office if we wanted to. I was generally the only one there, but I'd go up every day and check the mail and check phone messages and everything else, and return calls, and see if agents needed supplies or anything, get them ready for them, and that kind of thing. So I was able to maintain my sanity, I guess, would be but people who were totally just told, stay home, don't go out, I can see where they could be very depressed and
Well, a lot of them didn't have your family either. See, you had a family, so staying
right.
home, as long as you have your family, well, so it's like a home, we call it a staycation, right?
Yeah.
But it's the people who are alone anyway, and they survive only because they get to go to a senior center like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those are important for those people.
Very much so. Yeah, they get a lot of support. It's one of the best things that has ever happened for older adults to go to these senior centers. And this one was well funded by a donor whose wife was helped, and when she passed away, that's why it's called the Bolin Center. Her name was May, M-A-E, and we used to be the May Bolin, but they, excuse me, they do such an incredible job to keep everybody. But they actually haven't opened for the general elder population yet. They're thinking maybe July.
I think it's coming. Yeah, they're starting to, Florida at least is starting to reopen some stuff.
But like this, knowing that the older adults are the most, susceptible,
Mhm.
they can't do that, and they shouldn't. You saw, and I'm sure you, Medicare and your organization, you do pay for people in nursing homes, right?
There's a Medicare pays a very little bit, but mostly after a hospital stay for nursing homes. They don't, I mean, they'll continue medical benefits, but they don't pay for the inpatient care
Right, but
in
the
a nursing
medical
home.
benefits, exactly. So you see the huge amount of people in nursing homes who have died from this.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Yes.
didn't take care of them. That was very sad. They didn't realize it. And then once it happened, the owners of the homes or the whatever, I just as though, as a gerontologist, it broke my heart to see that happen because I said to someone, don't ever put me anywhere. Just keep me at home.
Yeah. Yeah. And most of them, and you're right, they put too many people in the nursing homes. They didn't have the proper equipment.
Exactly.
And they did it prematurely, I think, in some ways, because they started hollering for ventilators for the nursing homes, and then they found out the ventilator was the worst thing in the world. It didn't help. It hurt, from what I'm reading. So,
Well, when you can't breathe, you have to have a ventilator, and
right,
that's
but
where it affects you.
but a lot of them, it caused the breathing problems. Didn't some went in without a breathing problem.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it's just having everybody together like that. And you've been in nursing homes before, you know how that is.
yeah,
So, well, I hope that we can come together and figure out a lot of things because there'll be other viruses. This, as they say, this is just one. And
hmm
we have to be prepared. That's the most important thing to keep people well.
I
I mean,
agree.
my children were growing up when polio was going on, and I was very nervous about it. And thank goodness there's a vaccine, and now we're working so hard to get a vaccine.
Right. Well, my mother, when she was little, my grandfather was in the Navy, and they were actually stationed in China when she
Oh,
was diagnosed with polio.
really?
And the top hospital in the world at that point was in Philadelphia. And it took him like almost 2 months to get back from China cross country because it was in the 1920s, I guess, or early 30s or something.
Yeah.
And she ended up with one leg 2 inches shorter than the other.
Really?
But even though she said that my sister and I both had a natural resistance to it from her having it, she still made us take the Salk vaccine and everything. And she said you'll be
Good.
double protected.
Sure. Oh, that's interesting. So she was not in an iron lung at all?
She what?
Was she in an iron lung at the beginning?
No, she didn't have breathing. It was more her lower body.
I see.
She had trouble with her feet almost forever. She had the toes amputated and things, and it was circulation
Really?
problems.
Hmm. See, one never knows about one's family and what they go through, but
Right.
so that's why we have to really find a vaccine as fast as we can so that we can keep everybody from having this happen. But in the meantime, I'm trying to stay as close as I can, to do this. So I just want to tell everybody though, JON AHLBUM, I want everyone to, here's a phone number. If you, even if you have insurance now, you may want to consider this. I mean, I suggest you consider it. I'm sorry, it's 877-970-4760, correct?
Yes, 4760.
Yeah, 60, right. 877-970-27,
4760.
sorry, 4760. Yep, that's it. And you can always go online and go to albumgroup.com, which AHLBUM, album, AHLBUM, albumgroup.com. Well, we're probably going to end this now. So now you can say you've had your first Zoom interview.
There you go.
And you did great. And I think what will be happy for you is to, when you do get it, to send it. And,
I will.
Yeah, and anybody that you think need to do Zoom and they want to have us do it and they would like to advertise, you know where we are.
Absolutely.
Thank
And
you,
thank
John.
you
It's
so
been
much. And thank
wonderful.
you and Dan both for the
Yeah,
foresight to jump into this and get it done. And I'm really looking forward to the expos.
yeah, we're going to do it. We're calling them, I don't know what we decided. They're Zoomer Expos. I'm not sure, but we're going to come up with a clever name. Okay, have a great summer, and we will talk to you again, I'm sure, next month.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Bye.
Bye-bye.